Hey, welcome back to the Engineered Channel. Today we're working on our 2012 Can-Am RS, and we just got through upgrading the factory suspension with some Fox racing shocks. And when you come back, we're going to be installing these heat shield products to make this bike not so hot to ride from SpyderPops. So come right on back. So welcome back to the Engineer Channel. Today we're working on our Can-Am Spyder, and this thing is a 2012 model, and then from 2008 to 2012 these bikes had a real problem with heat. If you have one of these, or if you've ridden one of these, you know that it is dadgum hot to ride. There is so much heat coming off of the radiators and off the exhaust onto you that when it's hot outside, it's almost unbearable to ride. I'm sure that it's great in the wintertime. It's having a heater on board, but anyway. So what can we do to manage the heat? Well, I got on SpyderPops website and I've ordered some parts. So I've got the SPY103 missing heat shield, okay? We're gonna put that on. It's a piece of polycarbonate that is backed with some reflective foil. And then we have the air management system, which is the SPY104, and this kind of goes up on your radiator and keeps that airflow, redirects your airflow in your radiator. So we're going to be installing these parts and see if this doesn't take care of our heat issue riding this bike. So stay tuned and we'll show you how they look on there. Okay, so the first part we're going to start with is this SP104, the air management system. And it says the first thing is to pull this side cover off. Now this side cover is the cover on the radiator. I already had this off from our last video, so if you want to see how to take this cover off, go to the last video. It shows you how to totally disassemble all the fairings off the bike. But step one says remove the right cover and then take the air chute, S-H-O-O-T, come on guys, take the air chute off, which is this piece here. And it's held on with two Torx screws, T35s here, and then it's got three little pinch clips here, which you can remove with a flathead screwdriver pretty easy. And then this chute will come on off of here. So that's step one. And I'm reading the instructions in case you were wondering. All right, so I'm gonna pull this off. All right, so I've got the air chute removed, and I've also moved inside because air conditioning. And so what you have is this chute portion here, and this piece that you have extends this air chute. And so you have a cage nut down here on this end, and this end has a little offset on it, and it also has this red tape on it. The red tape goes on the inside of this chute here, okay? And on the back side, you're supposed to use the red tape, you see the edge of the red tape, as a guide to tell you how far in you want to put that. And you want to start at this end and work your way around this radius here by removing a little bit of the tape. And then it has holes pre-drilled in here. And so I'm going to drill this first hole, peel the tape back a little bit, get that stuck, and then go ahead and drill the second hole, get that stuck, put the rivet in that, go to the next one, and just work my way around until this is attached like so, okay? So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So step one, I clean the whole entire surface here with an alcohol wipe. I used an eyeglass cleaner alcohol wipe and cleaned all the dirt and grease and oil and whatnot might be on that surface. So I've got it nice and clean now. And then in the package they supply you with some adhesive promoter, some 3M adhesive promoter. And so I'm going to apply this along this inside edge where that red tape is going to stick. And once that gets dry, I'm going to go ahead and start sticking that on there and drilling and as I go and peeling the tape. Drill, peel tape, drill, peel tape. And so let's see if we can get it on there. So step one is just to squeeze this and break this little ampule in here with the primer in it. And then that should run out to this little foam applicator head. And then you can apply it to that inside surface. Woo! And it's very fragrant. And then you don't want to touch that surface again with your fingers, or you'll get oils on your finger on it, and it just won't adhere quite as well. So you can see it evaporating off of there, and as it evaporates, you can't tell anything was ever there. Okay, here we go. I've got everything ready. I've got me an 1/8" drill. These are already pre-marked, like I said, for my rivets to go through. I'm going to bend this. It doesn't fit very closely, but you know, it's polycarb, so it will bend without breaking. But I'm just going to start at one side, work my way around. Here I go. So here is your air chute installed. Okay, 4 rivets around here, the glue or the two-sided tape in there, and then the inside should look something like that. This is not an easy job. This takes 2 people. I had to hold it while somebody else drilled it, because this is very stiff and hard to bend around there. So, but there you go. It should be all installed now. So I can put this piece back on that outer cover and then reinstall this on the bike. Let's go see what that looks like. Okay, so I have reassembled the air chute by just pressing on these 3 clips in here and then putting on the 2 T30 screws back in, and I have this all assembled. So when this is back on the bike, you can see this foam gasket right here. It's going to fit around that curved air chute that goes out towards your foot. So when you come a little closer, I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, go ahead. Okay, so here's the air chute all reassembled. You can see this foam gasket here. It's going to fit when this is back on here, right? It's going to fit around this curved surface here, which is going to prevent air from going onto your foot. Okay, here's your first 10mm bolt here. Take that one out. Okay. And then your second torque screw is right here. Let's take that guy out. Give me that Torx wrench over there. Okay, we've got another Torx screw. Once you lift this fairing up, there's another Torx screw right here. It's kind of in the side of it right here. Okay, pull that off. Okay, our last 2 bolts, there's 2 10mm screws that are screwed straight into the frame, okay? And so with a long extension, pretty easy to get to. There's one. There's the second one. And there's your floorboard. Okay, that's what we're going to cut a hole in. So come with me here now, and we'll put the template on here and cut this hole and install that piece. Okay, so here's our floorboard, and this is our air escape chute, and this is going to go somewhere in this area here. So we're going to have to cut a square out here, and we're going to have to insert this. But the instructions come with, actually it goes over here, okay? So it's going to go right here above this little tab here, okay? But the instructions come with a template. I'm going to cut this out with some scissors and then mark that where it needs to go. Then I'm going to cut that hole out with my handy dandy cutoff wheel. And then you have to drill some holes in there to put some pop rivets in place. And I got my scissors to cut out my template. So here we go. Okay, so here's my hole after I got through cutting it. I had to make it a little bit bigger than the template. This isn't quite square, but I got this where it pretty much drops into place, okay? So now I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna drill these 4 holes, put some pop rivets in here, washer on the back, and then we should be done with this little installation. Okay, so here's my pop rivets installed, washers on the back, and then here's my exhaust duct, and here's what it looks like all installed. Okay, let's put it back on the bike. So as you can see, I'm fixing to reinstall this panel on here, same way it came off. 2 screws here, 1 screw here, and then I got to put this fairing back together. Okay, this little scoop is facing forward, so what that's going to do is draw in fresh air or cool air and try and get that hot air out a little quicker on the exhaust. So it's going to basically speed up the exhaust air going out of that port to try and make it run a little cooler. So the next piece we're going to install is this heat shield. They call it the missing heat shield, and it just goes right behind your foot pedal here, your brake pedal. And what you've got is a piece of polycarbonate, 2-sided sticky tape, and then the foil backing, because the exhaust pipe snakes right under your foot here, and a lot of heat is coming off of this. So we're going to put this on here. It's going to cover up, protect us from that heat. The beautiful thing about this install is they send you everything you need. The alcohol wipes to clean the surface, the little ampule with the primer on there to get the tape to stick really well, and this requires no tools. So let's just install this right quick and see how it goes. All right, so what you want to do is you want to test fit this panel first. And the pipe is right underneath this floorboard. So this piece here has to go up and over on top of that pipe. So make sure you get it over the top of it. And then you can see the red tape just behind this piece. So I feel pretty confident about this fit. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and then we'll stick her in place. So first thing I'm going to do is take one of these alcohol wipes that they send with it, okay, and just clean the back of that, that bracket. So even though this bike only has 200 miles on it, it still gets a lot of crud back there, so it's important to clean that. Step two is to take your little applicator here and break the ampule inside of it. There it goes. And then hold it upside down, let that liquid run to the swab. And you can feel that it's moist. And then clean the inside here. And this bracket it's hollow on the inside, so there's 2 edges. Make sure you swab both edges. Now let that dry for 1 minute. Now you want to make sure if you do this job that it's nice and warm outside. Don't do this on a cold day. You won't get as good adhesion. So make sure it's nice and warm. And it's plenty warm today, so that we should have a great stick here. Okay, once you're comfortable with the fit, go ahead and peel away this red tape on here. Then go ahead and slip this into place, and when you get it just right, press it into place. Okay, here we go. So once you get that into place and you really press it all the way around, it really sticks like crazy, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Make sure that little foam gasket is up inside of this front cover, so that it keeps the heat from coming through that little gap there. And it's on there. It's on there really good too. Okay, so we got our two air management systems, or heat management systems installed. We got the lower heat shield, and then of course the air scoop up here installed. So it's time to put all the fairings back together, take it for a ride, and let's see if it made a difference. Okay, we got everything back together, all the fairings back on. It's time to go give it a test and see if it makes a difference. Now it's super hot outside, it's probably 95 today, so, but I know all the riding Nazis are gonna be like, you're riding in sandals, what's wrong with you? Your feet are gonna explode or something. No, I'll be okay, but it's a good way to tell how much heat's coming off of it. I can feel it in my feet. So I'm gonna give it a test ride. When I come back, I'll tell you what it feels like. So there you go. All right, I went on a pretty good ride. I got it definitely up to temperature. Unbelievable the amount of difference it's made. I am riding in open-toed sandals and my feet are not hot, okay? Before I did this, and it's, like I said, it's probably 95, 96 degrees out here. The last time I did this kind of temperature, I literally had to ride with my feet on top of these fairings because I could not stand it. It was so hot. I've heard of people that their shoes have actually come unlaminated because it's so hot from the exhaust and from the exhaust off of the radiator. This appears to have fixed the problem. This is really unbelievable. So, this video is completely not sponsored by SpyderPops, but I'm telling you, if you got heat problems on your Can-Am and you want to fix it, go to SpyderPops.com, SpyderPops, and get you some of these parts. Put them on your bike. It is, I'd say, it's not a novice skill level. You do have to have some basic hand tools, but it's not a difficult thing to do. But it makes all the difference in the world, and it makes this bike now more enjoyable to ride. So let's go on a trip next time I see you. Maybe we'll be going somewhere fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.